trafficker perpetrator would rent a whole hotel floor just for us girls. And I found out during my research that the youngest sex trafficker here is 10 years old. Now, the age that they enter into a sex trafficking and prostitution is 12 to 14. But then that was in my time. Now you're ordering 10-year-old girls and 10-year-old boys. So I was really wanting to be rescued. I really didn't get rescued. People ask me all the time, well, how did you get out of it? Well, I aged out of it because I didn't have anybody in my time and in my community that really even cared about any kids missing. We have a lot of missing kids, and it's not because they ran away from home. It's because they were snatched up, and I'm talking about right today. All the missing kids report that we have that no one is doing anything about. It's because they snatched up. And I just have to say this, Dr. Haney, before I go further. I want people to think about the Nigerian girls. I want them to think about how can you go get 300 little girls out of a school in broad daylight and no one know where they at. Now, I'm already puzzled about the airplane that they can't find. But now we're talking about 300 little girls from age probably 12 to 14. So that means the government is involved. It's a cover-up. And until we start facing this and speaking on this, then we're going to have this. And so I got rescued because I aged out. And I aged out, I was like 42 years old, but I aged out at 30 because now by then I'm full of drugs, I'm homeless, I don't feel like I belong to anything, I don't want to live, so I'm not performing as good as the 12-year-old I once were or the 14-year-old. So that means I'm costing them money. See, you'll cost them money because now they got to feed you more drugs, and that means the price is going up. Then you got the clients, the perverts that's complaining because I'm not performing like they paid for me to perform. Well, I'm handcuffed to a bed, I'm gagged by my mouth so I don't scream, and I'm drugged up. So I'm laying there like a limp towel. So that's more complaints for them. So after about 29 or 30, the men started just leaving me alone because I'm drugged out. And so once they left me alone, I'm saying about 32, I was just lost. I was out in the streets. That's why people say Clement Greenlee was homeless for 10 years. I truly was. You ashamed to go home, you can't face your family, and then you don't even know what to say. Even though my family loved me unconditionally, I'm the one that was shamed. So I lived in the streets for almost 10, 15 years until I was rescued by the program Magdalene House. And one of the young ladies, Regina Mullins, who kind of lived that same lifestyle, she went and got help first, and she came back and got me. So when I entered the Magdalene program at 42 years old, keep in mind now, I'm 42, I feel like I'm an old woman, I'm uneducated, I'm drugged out, and I don't have anything to live for. So when I go in this program, I immediately say, you can't help me, I just want to die. But these people did not give up on me. I mean, this Magdalene program has saved my life. I entered that program in 2001. I came out in 2003, and I never looked back. And so she has been such an inspiration. She is Reverend Becca Stevens, the founder. She has been such an inspiration to me that she has encouraged me to go further. And so she believed in me so much that she sent me to New Orleans, and that's where I've been for the last 18 months. I went down there to help open up a house like Magdalene to go educate them on sex trafficking, and also to go to the streets of New Orleans. If you know the streets of New Orleans, the first place you hit is Bourbon Street, because everybody have all these call girls or girls swinging in and out the windows, and all the prostitutes standing on the sidewalk. Well, then who have once asked one of those ladies, are you here against your will? Because everybody is not there because they want a new Lexus or they want to pay off a college fee. Some people are there because they are forced there, and you got to look and see who's watching you when you talk to the girls. So I made it to New Orleans, and I did a lot of speaking. I went and talked to a lot of judges, DAs, police officers, anybody I could talk to, sororities, and I spoke so well about sex trafficking in the United States, period, not just New Orleans, that the governor even offered to bring me back down.
And so it's a real problem, you think, in the city of New Orleans, and would that be typical of some of the other cities? It's not as hidden there, perhaps, as it might be in Tennessee.
No, the stats show that number one is Atlanta. They show, that proves that. Then you got Texas, because it's running down that I-10 line too. So you got 5 states that's really is major in it, and New Orleans just happened to be one of the states that made their laws a little tougher. So we are trying to get other states to back off of what Governor Jindal just did, because by him changing the law, it made it stiffer. And what I mean by made it stiffer, Dr. Haney, is if we got locked up for any sex crime, crime against nature, just doing any kind of oral sex, anything we get caught doing, we automatically get charged as a sex offender. We automatically get 18 months to 3 years. It's women's in jail now just because they got caught giving oral sex. But the man, he didn't get caught doing anything, so I didn't think that was right. So if you're going to force us out here, and then this man is going to be a pervert enough to pay for me, and I'm 12 and 10 years old, then I feel like then you need to be accounted for too. So my call was to ask them to change the law and make it stiffer on everybody, not just us. You make it stiffer on the men's, and you make it stiffer on the men's who are putting us out there.
Well, it appears to me, Ms. Greenlee, doing this as we end this first segment, that this is a real problem in America today. Is that what we're saying?
This is a huge problem in America today.
And we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. Thank you and welcome back to the final segment of the show for today. The topic is human trafficking in the state of Tennessee, and Ms. Greenlee has given us some information in reference to what is going on in Tennessee as well as what might be happening in other